So this one, I think you guys are going to really fucking love. I hope you do. We can go through this one right now if you'd like.
Be, do, have.
You have drill.
No, just be, do, have. Of what does
concept.
yeah, like what does the be, do, have of a sales rep? Have you ever even looked at that in your life? What the be, do, have is? So let's take a look, and then we can go into any Q&A you guys want to do.
Yeah, I think you had one of these for money back in the Balls on Calls course, and I did take a look at that one when I was going through that.
So this one's way simpler. I kept it as simple as possible. So I'm going to have you guys read this out loud. So Taylor, okay, bye. Cool. That's just me. That's just me and Jordan. We're going to talk shit. She didn't bring paper and pen. Hey, I'm getting paper.
A lame notebook. I don't have never mind. It's totally fine.
Sweet. All right. So I'm going to have you read out loud, guys. So Jordan, you're going to start. So you're going to read this.
Okay. Havingness. Wait. The feeling that one owns or possesses.
Okay. So what does that mean?
Feeling like you own something. Like you... Like it's not like a question. Like it's a knowing that you have something. You don't have to worry about whether it's coming or not.
Okay. Yeah. Well, like for example, if you turned around, do you feel like you own or possess your globes?
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Taylor, read this definition.
The results of creation.
So what does that mean?
Basically the output of creation. So what is there, present?
Yeah. So it's what you have. Happiness. I'll explain this one. Which is like when you have more affinity with your environment, like a closeness, some kind of love or liking for your environment. When you have reality with it, meaning, well, your environment is I don't know, a tree and a park and a road and a this and a that, and then you have an agreement with your environment as to what is, because reality is an agreement as to what is. So when you and your environment agree, right, as to what it is or as to what reality is, and then you're in communication with your environment. So you're touching things, smelling things, you could go pet a dog or whatever the fuck it is, right? That would be like communication, right? You are sending out particles and you're receiving particles, right? When you see something, that's a communication flow. You're receiving photons to your eyeballs, right? That's a flow of particles, which allows you to see something, right? And then the universe is able to communicate to you what it is, so then you can have more reality. So whenever you have more affinity and reality and communication with your environment, you have more happiness, right? Because you're more here and now, which means you feel like you can have things. When you're back in your head in the past, you're not here and now, so it's difficult to have a feeling of happiness because you're not even here, so you can't have what's here. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So the more in present time and in communication with your environment you become, whether it's with prospects, whether it's literally just with your room, you could go around and touch everything in your room. You might feel something lift off and you'll feel lighter and feel good and feel more present, right? You're just increasing your happiness, right? Or like the feeling that one owns or possesses. Like, how do you guys feel whenever you get like a lot of money?
So I feel good.
Yeah. The feeling that one owns or possesses, right? You have affinity, reality, communication, and then with your environment, then also you feel like you own and possess something, right? So do you guys kind of got a concept of what happiness is?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So read this out loud, Jordan. This is creation.
Make, manufacture, construct, postulate, bring into beingness.
Cool. Beingness is just identity with something. But to keep it simple, let's just say make. My favorite word is produce, which means to bring into existence, which sounds badass. So, but creation is you're creating something, right? Right? Like whenever we did the drawing stuff together, Taylor created a drawing. I don't know what the fuck Jordan thought he created, but no, I'm just kidding. I had the worst drawing, so I got to make fun of you guys, right? I had the, what was it? The giraffe bird.
Giraffe bird, yes.
Yeah, so... so that's what creation is, right? So happiness is the result of creation. So you made something and now you have it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. So then doing this, Taylor, read this out loud.
What one ought to be doing in order to get creation or do creation.
Cool. Does that make sense?
In order to create, you have to do.
That's it. So, Jordan, read this out loud. By the way, you guys will get this document when you go through the course, so don't worry about like trying to take copious notes unless you have your own notes you're taking. You can just you'll have this.
Okay.
So, but read this out loud.
The action of creating an effect. An effect in creation is action.
So, what does that mean?
Basically, like you are affecting reality through your actions.
Sure. Yeah. Give me a specific example of what it would look like to be doing something.
Well, if I go to the gym, then I am using my actions to create an effect of training my body, right, and
Right.
damaging the muscles so that it can regrow. That would be doing something.
Yeah. Good shit, man. Okay, cool. So then action. Read this, Taylor.
Doingness directed towards havingness.
Okay, so what does that mean?
Having an input for an expectation of an output, which is havingness.
Yeah.
A causation to get something.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Okay, cool. You got it. You guys are crushing this. All right, so read this, Jordan.
The assumption or choosing of a category of identity.
Pause.
Beingness
Pause.
is assume.
So
Pause.
here's the definitions of assume, assumption, and category and identity, just so we don't get caught up on that. So, Taylor, you read each one of these out loud.
Okay, so assumption, a taking up, receiving, acceptance, or adoption.
So what's that mean in relation to what we're reading to this first sentence?
Or accepting and adopting a specific category of identity. So you're like you're accepting that. So it puts itself in front of you, whatever that is. And that category of identity, you look at it and then you accept that for everything that it is.
Sure.
Like
so let's take a look at identity because let's go through the rest of these definitions. That sounds good. I just want to give you some more data and then see what you think. So let's get through the rest. So read this one, Taylor.
Assume is to take or put on fictitiously.
So whenever you have an identity, like your body, right? A lot of people identify as their body. Then that identity, it's fictitious. You're a being. You're not a body, right? It's like whenever you go into a play and you're being a prince, right? Prince Jordan from Jordan. And then, yeah, there we go. I don't know why that got him. So, I didn't think it's going to be that funny. But you're not actually a prince, are you?
Well, my mom thinks I am.
Yeah, but like if you were in a play and playing the part of a prince in a play, would you be an actual prince?
No, of course not.
Cool.
You're playing.
But also, exactly, right? And it's just the same. If you're a real prince, are you actually a prince? Is that who you are?
I mean, technically, no. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
Even if your position in the human world isn't what you actually are.
Yeah. But it's who you're being, and it's your beingness, and it's your chosen category of identity, right? So, like you put on the mask and then you play the game. This is like a video game, right? So I'm playing the sales rep. I'm taking and being a sales rep. That's why be, do, have is so important, because if you don't understand the actual identity you're trying to be in sales, you won't successfully be able to do it. You'll keep fucking it up. Does that make sense? So like the be, do, have, if you misappropriate what you're doing, like I'm a busy business lady. Okay, well, no, you're a sales rep, right? Or like, no, I'm a God-fearing woman. Cool. That's another thing that you identify as, but you're a sales rep, right? Since we're in this program, this is a mindset program for sales reps, right? So it's not to invalidate or take away from any other identities which you have, any other things that are part of your identity, right? It's just very simply, you're a sales rep. So we're going to be doing the be, do, have right after we get through with these short definitions. But does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. So, Taylor, read this.
A category, it's a class or division of people or things regarded as having particular shared characteristics.
Okay, what does that mean?
Basically, an organization based on commonalities.
Okay, yeah. Class or division. Do you know what a class or division is? Do you know what either of those are?
Yes. Other than using the word again as a definition, like a subcategory. It's a class, it's a segment.
Yeah. Kind of like you have like genus and species. Those are all classes. They're categories of organization, right? Of genetics. So I think genetics. Is that what, it doesn't fucking matter. So yeah, like, and then you have a division. You know, if it was a division of people, it might be like a sales division, right? It might be a like the cleaning division or whatever the fuck it is, right? So when we're looking at this is a so it says a category of identity. So whenever we're applying it to that, what exactly does that? Well, let's go into identity and then I'll ask. So read this.
Identity is something that is the same as something.
Okay, give me an example of that.
Like us as humans, we have this shared identity in that we are genetically the same in that sense.
Right, but we're actually, even though that's true, our bodies are different though. So we aren't identical. We're not the same. Even the bodies that we have aren't the same.
Okay. So you're looking for identical in terms of like, if you get a 6-pack of Coca-Colas, every single one have the same identity because they are identical.
Yeah. So whenever you're taking on an identity as a being, you are being the same as something else. So if you are, Jordan, what's a sport you like to play?
Let's say soccer. I don't actually.
Okay, cool. So you don't actually?
No, I don't play. The only sport I play is like the gym.
Okay, it's cool. So then, what do you bodybuild? Do you do it just for like fun? Like, what's your goal in the gym?
I just do it for fun.
Do you have a goal?
Yeah. Put on.
Okay, cool.
Muscle, stay lean.
So you could build an identity, right? You could say, hey, I want to have the identity. I want to identify as a guy who can like lift 250 pounds over my head or whatever the fuck it is, right? And then to identify as, would mean that you're being the same as him, or is that same as that identity, right? It's kind of like if you think of, let's say, a video game, right? When you play a video game, you stop in that moment being whoever you are in real life, and you start to put your perspective as being the person in the game. That's the exciting part of it. You change your perspective because a being is a perspective. So you move, you stop being your body for a moment, and you start being whoever the character in the game is, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what a being is. It's a perspective. It's a viewpoint. So you change your viewpoint, and now you're being something else. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's like choosing your avatar.
Yes, exactly. So you can, at any moment, change what your traits are just by changing what you are the same as. You don't have to.
Flexible.
Yeah, well, it's your choice. Who chooses your identity? It's not an identity machine where it gets chosen for you, right? Well, that's actually what life is. Life is the identity machine where everything gets chosen for you because you get brainwashed and hypnotized into all these different ways of thinking, and you don't think for yourself, right? But does that make sense so far?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. So then, how do you guys feel on these 4 definitions? Assumption, assumed, category, and identity.
Clear on all.
I feel pretty clear on these as well.
Sweet. So let's just go ahead and finish this. Jordan, you're going to read this out loud.
Okay. The assumption or choosing of a category of identity. Beingness is assumed by oneself or given to oneself or is attained. Examples of beingness would be one's own name, one's profession, one's physical characteristics, one's role in a game. Each and all of these things could be called one's beingness.
What does that mean? In your own words.
I would say in the simplest terms, it's the way that you are choosing the perspective that you're choosing to hold in any specific moment.
Cool. Yeah. I think of it like a costume, right? Like you put on a costume. This is who I'm being, right? Kind of like whenever you do Halloween, and like I had a werewolf costume one time, and it had like a moving mask because I was a werewolf for a few hours, right? So, yeah, cool. How do you guys, Taylor, do you have anything that's unclear on this?
No, I was actually just writing down kind of a, redefinition in my own words of that. So we were good.
Sure. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I've been doing the same.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, for mine, I just wrote a chosen approach in showing up, how you present mentally, physically, emotionally.
Yeah, right. Your being is who you're being, so you can choose your traits. Right? So why would you have the traits of someone who could just get beaten up by their mind so easily? Why not choose the traits of someone who just handles life really fucking easy, right? You got to play a bigger game that requires you, like, play a game with bigger problems so that way the current small game you're playing, the problems solve on their own. Like, for instance, if you're playing a big game where I have to, like, help tens of thousands of people, then the money problem will solve itself because the money is required for the other game. You'll rise to the standard of whatever game you're playing. You're not going to rise to the standard of, I don't know, whatever the fuck else. You'll rise to the standard of your training. I like that one. That's from military. That's true. I don't like the military because I brainwash people to kill people. Not a very good thing. Don't get me wrong. All the movies are cool, but it's all like they can't communicate, so they have to fight. Right?
Yeah.
They're like, grr, I don't like you. I'm going to shoot you now. That's my solution. You have oil. I can't make a deal with you. I just got to go take it. Right? So that's, I don't know. I don't know if you guys agree with that or if you think, I don't know, killing's a positive thing.
I definitely agree with you on that.
What do you think, Taylor?
I agree. I think there's other solutions than going to the extreme. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Totally. So, well, it's destructive. It's harmful, right? You have all these good, men and women, mostly men in the military, who could be fathers and shit instead of they're dead. And dead fathers aren't as helpful as alive fathers. So, all right, cool. So let me ask you, right? Now we've gotten, I did it backwards, and we're going to do it backwards with this because that's how you figure out who to be, is you figure out first what you need to have, what you want to have. Then you figure out what you need to do. Then you figure out who you need to be. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Most people do it entirely backwards, and they also don't do it linearly. Whenever they are trying to do, be, do, have, they're like, I'm going to be happy, and I'm going to do work so I can make money. But being happy doesn't make money. That's not the beingness of someone who makes money. It might be part of it, right? Being happy definitely does increase your likelihood of getting money, but being valuable makes money, not being happy. Being valuable and doing valuable things gets you the happiness of value, whatever your chosen valuable thing is, right? So it's very linear, right? There's no mystery to it. Does that make sense for you guys? Just for you guys, not anybody else. Nobody else gets to have this make sense.
Yes.
All right, cool. So then, what is the happiness of a sales rep? Whoever wants to answer. I'll give you a cheat sheet.
Reading everything off.
Yeah, if you want to.
I will read through it. Sales, cash collected, referrals, commissions, inbound inquiries, leads, opportunities to create 1 and 2, and showed qualified calls.
Cool. Can you think of anything else a sales rep is trying to have?
It's pretty much everything you need as a sales rep.
I kind of think of like the emotional side. Like I think you have to have a strong mind and like the right mindset for it. Maybe intention.
That's beingness. Who you're being. You're
True.
being weak. You're being strong.
So that's separate
You're
category.
you're choosing your traits.
Okay.
Right? Those are traits. Those are things you be. Right?
I guess there could be an overlap. You can have intention, but you can also be intentional.
Well, the
You know?
intention is not something you have. It's something you do. Intention is an action. You intend to do something. It's a verb, not a noun.
Well,
Now, it is a noun.
You can have good intentions or you can have bad intentions. So I think in
Right,
that
but are you intending to produce cash? That's the beingness and the doingness.
Gotcha.
Right. So, because we're about to go into that, and then we can argue about it as we go through. But what do you think the doingness is of a sales rep before I scroll down to it?
I would say like dialing, handling objections, asking questions, following up,
Drilling.
Okay. Anything else?
taking calls.
How about yelling at people?
It could be a
Could be.
doingness. I don't know if it's a
Could be.
doingness or a productive one, but
No. So here's the doingness of a sales rep. Yeah. Dials, DMs, emails, letters, voicemails, objection handling, question asking, listening, collecting money, planning payment plans or deal logistics. They're creating logistical plans. Like especially in like more B2B settings, it's like, when is the budget going to be available? How do I deliver these trucks to you? Right? They're like figuring out logistics. They don't figure out delivery. They just figure out when it can be done, and then other people handle the delivery of it, right? But follow up using a CRM, promotion, marketing, and products, pitching, note taking, creating a good experience for others, intends that deals close, follows a successful process, operating basis, operates on statistics only, not on emotions. Emotions aren't statistics, right? They are not reliable as a means to make good decisions, but statistics are. Right. So if we know somebody's successful habit is every morning they eat yogurt and then their day goes perfect. Okay. eat fucking yogurt. If that's all it takes, dude, do it. Come on, man. Like, do it. Like, just do it. It's simple. Okay. Let's see. Do all these make sense so far?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Is in the future or the present, thinks about creating future deals, forgets that deals were ever lost, only ever thinks about how to take non-existent deals and lost deals and turn them into won deals. That is the only focus. It's not, you notice how none of the doingness here is like sad or like worrying or anything. None of that's part of the doingness. No negative emotions are required to be a sales rep. That's not part of the doingness. That's not what produces your havingness, right? If we go through the equation, does any of your mental blocks create these outcomes?
No.
Right. So then it doesn't need to be part of the doingness. You take it entirely off of the job post. It doesn't exist whenever you are working. So plays the game of deal making. Is always looking for what will make or break a deal. So they play the game of not only spotting things throughout a call, but they play the game of terms. Investigator. Yeah. So, but they also build the correct terms that can lead a deal to close. Like, for example, people in this program, like, let's split your first payment in half so you can get started. Okay, cool. Now they can buy on those terms. People buy on terms, not on price, right? If you can make it affordable for them to buy. Does not acknowledge the existence of barriers to a deal for any purpose other than to remove them. So sometimes you guys get an objection to worry about it, or see an objection as something that does get in the way. You don't see it as something that's only there to be removed from the way, and that's why it stays in the way. You don't treat it like a box that's like in the hallway. You treat it like this like big thing that's going to completely destroy the deal. No, you just move the box out of the way. It's part of your job. Right? But you don't acknowledge any existence of any other barriers. Like if your mind tells you you can't close a deal or you can't hit KPIs, you don't acknowledge that. You don't give it any heed. Who gives a fuck? Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's not part of the doing this. So does not acknowledge the idea they are unable to close a deal. It's not in your universe. You can let your manager think that or somebody else think that, but you don't. It doesn't exist to you. It's not real to you. It never occurred to me that I couldn't close the deal. In fact, I still don't have any idea why they haven't. It baffles me. Like, I don't get it. It's a great deal to do. Seeks to understand, talks 10 to 20% of the time, produces as many deals as possible. The doingness of a sales rep. Taylor, read number 22.
22. Produces as many deals as possible. You meant 23?
Jordan, read 22.
Produces as many deals as possible.
So whenever you're going throughout your day, that means that this goes straight into number 24, creates and handles chaos at a very high degree. Imagine 8 hours a day you did not stop moving. And every movement, every finger click, every twitch of the head, everything you did for those 8 hours was only for the purpose of producing a deal. You had no wasted action during that time. It was all to produce a deal. That's the doingness of a sales rep. Just like if you were an accountant for 8 hours straight, you're crunching numbers. That's what your doingness is. If you are somebody who builds a railroad for 8 hours a day, you swing a hammer and you drive the spike into the ground, and then you do the next one, and you do that for 8 hours. Does that make sense?
Yes.
There isn't a moment of time. Sales is it's the highest paid hard work and the lowest paid easy work. And the only reason why someone wouldn't be making the amount of money they want in sales is not because of their skills, but because of their work ethic. It's how much they leave on the table. That's a sales rep's behavior. Has nothing to do with mindset. You can make all the dials with bad mindset and you'll still be able to squeeze some deals out. It won't be the most ideal amount of deals. You're going to lose a lot because your mindset's in the way. That's why this is a mindset program. But this is the mindset you need to have. This is actually the only mindset. This is the only mindset of a sales rep. I close deals, and I close as many deals as I can. I'll dial 16 people, and I'll pitch all of them, and I'll get 16 pitches out today. And I got 3 deals out of that. Great. My close rate's tiny. My production is high. They focus on production, not on vanity. They don't worry about their close rate. They worry about total amount of deals. It says right here, produces as many deals as possible. It doesn't say produces highest close rate as possible. It says produces as many deals as possible. If you closed at 1%, Taylor, and your calls were 5 minutes and you pitched and closed in 5 minutes, but you only collected cash on 1% of your calls, you'd still be for 500 minutes a day, which is approximately 8 hours. you'd produce at least a deal a day. That'd be higher production than is currently being done. Right? So that's it. Okay, number 23, stays in communication after a deal and remains abundant. So they keep creating new opportunity. They don't care if somebody's in a follow-up stage. For every one deal that has not yet closed, they create 5 more. For every person, Taylor, that you haven't yet closed, if you were reaching out and getting a hold of 5 more people who could then close on follow-up or soon, how many deals would you have each month if you only did that one single thing? For every one lost or follow-up deal, for every deal, every call that didn't close, you created another 5 new opportunities. How many deals would you close each month without increasing your close rate? How many?
Let's see, that would be 25 a week. That would be about at least 5.
25 additional a week. So continue.
I mean, at least 5 extra deals a week. So 30 in a month. Awesome. 25 total.
Yeah. All you had to do was do, which is like, oh, fuck yeah. I just got to know. I'm going to go get 5 more. Like, that's it. You just move, man. Let's see. Creates and handles chaos at a very high degree. This is most visible when someone is dialing a lot or DMing a lot. When someone's DMing a lot, what it looks like is like, and they're really good at their job. My best day, I got 400 follow-ups in a day. And I was just typing, next, typing, next, typing, next, typing, next. Someone answers, I respond. I already have the script memorized because I fucking wrote it. So I already know what my next question is in the script. I don't even think about it. I just see what they said. I see where I am in the conversation. Next answer within 60 seconds. Next person. Next. Someone responded. Go hit them up. Someone responded. They're broke. Not going to answer them. And it's just super high randomity, super high chaos compared to most jobs that you could have. That's what it would look like if you were creating and handling chaos at a very high degree, right? To put it in a different context, let's say you were brokering deals, right, where there's 2 parties and you're just in the middle, right? Let's say you're doing real estate. I'm going to actually use art because there's a buyer and there's a seller. And usually there's a buyer's agent and a seller's agent. And so now there's 5 total people involved in a deal potentially. There's the buyer, the buyer's agent, the middleman, the seller's agent, and the seller. And let's say you have 10 paintings you're trying to sell from 10 different sellers, and you're trying to coordinate between 100 different potential buyers, and you're negotiating and getting them into communication and sending NDAs and having all that flow, and that's all that happens in one single day. You might have created 116 potential deal options out of 10 total paintings. That's pretty high chaos. Do you guys think you guys are doing that level of chaos each day? Right. Now, if you were, where would your income be?
Higher, sure.
Right. Has anybody ever given you the idea that sales was not supposed to be stressful? It's a competition performance sport. It's not something where you can sit, clock in and clock out, because you eat what you kill. So it's you got to move all day. It's the only thing that's going to produce your stats going up every single month. And then eventually, once you reach a point to where you can't get your stats to go up every month, even though you're maxing it out, like Taylor should have an assistant. Even as a setter, Jordan, you should have an assistant. You should have an assistant that packs your calendar with triages all day. They send 1,000 texts a day, and they put 46 triages on your calendar each day. And they're working 8 hours straight, high octane, using whisper flow to speak at 120 to 240 words per minute, which I just started using for DMs, which is fucking insane. It's super cool. Like, I can just speak my DMs into my microphone. Yeah, or they type really fast, whatever it is. There are some people on Earth who can do 120 words per minute. Don't know who they are, but if you could get them as your setter, your calendar would be packed. It's the speed of communication that is actually more valuable than it's the speed and the quality of communication. It's only that. It's nothing else. Speed and quality. And the speed is what equals volume. So if you are able to output 1,000 quality conversations in a day with you having your own assistant who also confirms your calls for you and does this, and when someone cancels, they move them off of your calendar, reschedule them, and you're just like super high octane to where like for 8 hours straight, you don't stop moving. And then when you're done, you feel energized because you stayed out of your head all day. You didn't lose energy for the 8 hours you were working. Your body might be a little bit tired, but you didn't lose energy because you didn't get in your head, because you were doing everything you could You're doing the most ethical thing in your job. That's why you see these, Giga Chad guys who go around and who just do whatever the fuck they want. They talk real loud and all that sort of thing. They have that level of confidence because they don't leave anything on the table when they work. Even if you don't like some things about their attitude, that's the thing that causes them to be successful. They don't have time to get in their head. And then when they get off from the 8 hours of work, they go play and they don't feel guilty about a single moment of it. They don't even think about work anymore. The only people who think about work when they're not working are people who did not do what they should have done when they were working.
Yeah.
Or people who are really creatively enticed by what they're doing. Those are the only two instances I've found of why you'd bring your work home with you. Like you can't stop thinking about what you're going to do next. Or you can't stop thinking about how I'm going to hit my targets. You shouldn't be thinking about how you hit your targets. You should just hit them. Here, let me put that on here. Hits, targets, no matter what. There you go. So do you guys get number 24 now?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. 8 to 10 hours a day, moving nonstop to produce deals, doesn't leave anything on the table, does not let any communication wait. If you know you should communicate with somebody, you don't put it off even another single minute, and hits targets no matter what. So do you guys have any questions on the doingness of a sales rep? Do you have any questions or disagreements?
No, I think the perspective of like the speed and quality of communication, that really made it click for me. I think that was really, really valuable.
Good shit. And the thing is, Jordan, you're noticing as you increase your affinity with your prospects, you'll also talk to more prospects. But if you talked to 10 times more people in a day, you wouldn't care that you ever screwed up on a call.
Yeah.
It's only meaningful because the amount of volume that you have is so small. That's why it matters so much. That's why it sucks when you lose a deal. But when you lose a deal, you just say, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to call them up and try and close it myself. I'm the setter. I'm going to try and do it myself. Who cares? Like, you're just a deal closing machine. I used to do that from my closer. I'd call up the leads that didn't close.
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, why didn't you buy? And I'd get them back on. I'd warm them back up, handle their objection, get them back on a call with him to buy.
Yeah, I feel like that's
2 days after.
I'm trying to like build that level of confidence where I'm like doing stuff like that, because they'll send me people to rebook and stuff, and they'll have objections, and I'll get that thing of like, man, this objection, I can't freaking handle this. This is.
Well, that's why you got the
yeah.
What's it called? The arena. So
Yeah.
I cut you off though.
Actually, because I think a lot of it is just believing I can actually handle it. So I'm like, oh, I haven't like practiced that objection, or I don't know, and I don't know anything about the program, so I can't like pitch them again, or
try it 1,000 times
stuff like that. But yeah, it's just reps. So I should just view it as a rep and try my best, and not have the thought occur to me that I couldn't handle it. So then I do my best, and then it possibly works out. And if it doesn't, great, because I get to just do it again. So I think this has really helped me kind of see that perspective.
Good shit, man. What do you think, Taylor?
I think all of it so far has been helpful. I think having kind of a separation between work and like personal is big in getting out of my own head. So even just saying like, be an avatar, like you show up as the person you want to be, as the person who closes deals, who has every intention to, be effective and support the team. I think it creates a healthy separation, and it's so simple, but I think it does a lot.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to go home and then be like a sales rep with your, like, let's say you had a husband and kids. You're not going to like start slinging deals to them. You're going to be like, hey, do you want to start a construction business so I can sell you some marketing? And he's like, and the baby's whining like, huh? Like, you're not going to do that. So like, okay, cool. It's beingness of a mom, right? Because again, having kids is only a body thing. That's not a spiritual being thing. It's still a big pretend. You're pretending to be a mom. You're taking on the role of a mom, but you're really a spiritual being. You're not a body. Only the body's the mom. There's no such thing as spiritual genetics. That kid's not related to you except by body. That's it. So it's all imagine it's the fucking Sims.
Well, that's gonna help.
Yeah, you could change your perspective at will, homie, whenever you want, because it's all a big pretend. So you can choose to be the lady who closes $1 million of deals. That'd be 80 deals a month. That is, while it's a lot, that is entirely possible. If you had a much higher show rate, it's totally possible. If you had 6 calls a day and had an assistant calling and funneling everybody back onto your calendar and making sure that follow-ups were like, if it's a month-long follow-up, cool. Like they're followed up with, nurtured by somebody. Like if you had everything but calls handled and you only ever handled calls, and then you had a dossier of like, here's where you are in the process. This is a follow-up. Like if that's, I'd really like to build a software that does this. But if you had that sort of thing, it would solve all of this.
Yeah.
So, and you'd be able to close 80 deals a month if you wanted to, and be $1 million a month closer on a 12K product.
Yeah.
That's badass.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, and you can get 12K peps. Fuck the, like, just so much volume. It won't matter. You can charge 15. You guys could charge 20 for what you're doing, and I think that would be the price out of the market. It's like 20 to 25. Like, you need to talk to people with more money. Okay, cool. Sweet. How do we talk to people with more money? Solve that problem. So great. Now Taylor has a direct mailing list because she takes 10% of her income and she puts it into doing letters to physical offices of construction companies. And instead of doing ads, she sends letters, video mailers that are like 10 to 15 bucks a piece. And it's literally a little fucking thing. And they open it up and it has a VSL inside and you could put other stuff in there. You could send that out.
Crazy idea.
And then you start, because here's the other thing. Right here, sales rep does promotion and marketing. Their job is to do whatever produces more money. So if like they want to bolster their, like, you don't have to bolster the company's promotion. You just need to bolster your own. Now, if you want to help the company in that way, maybe you can take some sort of management or fucking other role, or maybe you just do it because you want them to pay for the mailers, right? Which all of it would get you an equally good outcome. But that's it. We're going into the beingness next. So, Jordan, what do you think is the beingness of a sales rep?
Definitely present. Present would be one of the biggest ones. High affinity, high appreciation for the prospect, knowledgeable about the product, interested in the person they're talking to or communicating with.
Boy, you learn. Jordan, look, dude, you have mad props from me, because like you are clearly soaking up something from what we're doing. Like, Jesus Christ. Keep going, man. What else?
Okay. Let's see. I think those are the big key ones. I would say like enthusiasm.
That might be in here. Let's check. All right. You want to read these out loud?
Yeah. Let's see. Interested in others, cheerful, interested in problems and interested in solving problems, and also understanding the structure of problems, presentable, well-dressed, well-spoken, enthusiastic about the product, present, warm, caring, responsible for others, decision maker, intelligent, aware, adaptable, fun, charismatic, assertive, focused, organized, attentive to detail, even the smallest details, disciplined in personal and professional life, expansive and social, talks to a lot of people all day, is persistent, extremely fast in communication, certain in themselves and the product, top of mind, a player in the sales game, strong, and a spectacular communicator.
Great. Any questions?
What does top of mind mean?
They're always thinking about you.
That means like, wait, so you were like your prospect is at the top of your mind, or whoever you're
when you go on Facebook, whose post do you see first?
Usually yours.
Yes, that's it. That's the answer.
Wait, I still don't. Am I missing something?
Top of mind. Yeah, that's the first person that comes to mind.
First person that comes to mind is, but in the context of the sales rep, who is that at the top of the mind? Prospect.
You're top of mind. That's your beingness. Your being top of mind. Your presence and who you are is what pops up in someone's head first when they think of solving their problem. You.
I see. So you are the top of everyone's that you're talking to's mind, pretty much. You're at top of.
Yeah, even people you're not talking to. That's why I post so much, because I keep getting the feedback. My feed is flooded with your posts. I'm like, I'm gonna keep doing it. My views are going down. I don't really care, but like, it's inescapable.
Yeah, you are. So as a sales rep, you are inescapable, pretty much. They're always like seeing stuff from you. Yeah. They're thinking about you, man. That guy.
You always find a way to stay on top of it. Yeah, you. Hey, I saw this YouTube video that I thought would help you, And it's not even from your company. It's like I used to sell or show people Alex Hormozy videos because I knew it would shift their beliefs because he did it in the video. Great. We didn't have belief shifting. They're not going to buy from Alex Hormozy. So, because it was a done with you ecom BizOp offer, right? So they're not going to go buy from Alex Hormozy. I wasn't creating another person, but his stuff's valuable, so I sent it to them because I knew it would shift their beliefs and get them ready to buy. And then I created email sequences that would take them through different videos, whether it was from our YouTube or somebody else's, and it would shift their beliefs. So that way they would be getting nurtured, right? And top of mind. Like they never forget who you are. You keep doing valuable things for them. Because remember, if you want to receive value, you put out value. So Taylor, I'll have you actually read this list too. So does that make sense, Jordan?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, these are definitely, all of these are so important.
You got it, man. So Taylor, starting from the top at 1, read down this list. Beingness of a sales rep.
The beingness of a sales rep. 1, interested in others, is cheerful, interested in problems and interested in solving the problems, and also understanding of the structure.
It doesn't say the. You said interested in solving the problems. It doesn't say the.
Interested in solving problems and also understanding of the structure of problems. Next one says presentable, well-dressed, well-spoken, enthusiastic about product, present, warm, caring, responsible for others, a decision maker, intelligent, aware, adaptable, fun, charismatic, assertive, focused, organized, attentive to detail, even the smallest of details, disciplined in personal and professional life, expansive and social, talks to lots of people all day long, persistent, extremely fast in communication, certain in self and in product, top of mind, a player in the sales game, strong, a spectacular communicator.
All right, cool. You're not mad at me because I told you that.
I am not, but I'm actually honored that you were paying that close of attention to the delivery. So
yeah, it changed immediately. Also, after I said that, so it seemed like you slowed down to not speed through it. The thing is whenever you're reading, the mind will have you add in and change and take out things. It will alter what you're reading. So I have you read out loud so I can actually see if you're altering something about what you're reading. Jordan did too. I didn't correct him because he's not a woman. But no, I'm just kidding. But it also can help you find misunderstood words. If someone mispronounces a word or kind of fumbles over words after they read a certain word that they don't understand, because everything after a misunderstood word goes blank. So having someone read something out loud actually allows you to see if they have a misunderstanding about it too. So that's one of the reasons why I have you guys do that. Cool. So do you guys have any questions or disagreements with the beingness of a sales rep? Cool. That's it. I didn't plan on going through this, but I did. Was it useful?
that was helpful.
Very.
Yeah. So anything that doesn't match this, you don't need to do it. You can throw it away. You can forget you ever had a problem, right? You can forget about it. In fact, you have to keep going back in the past to remember you have a problem so you can bring it to now. All problems come from the past and all problems are other people's problems. You're right. So you don't have to remember that you ever had a problem. You can forget that you did. For example, if you want to get better at money, you just go learn about money. Remove your misunderstandings around money. I'm going to have a little probably money mini course in here that's going to have just a long list of words, and you're going to go clear all the words until you fully understand. Like, okay, cool. Here's what it looks like to get a mortgage. Here's what it looks like to get a loan. Here's what it looks like to get credit cards. Here's what it looks like to save. Here's what different kinds of investments are. Here's how to structure an investment. Here's what a brokerage account looks like. Here's how to use a brokerage account. Here's how to start automated investing. So that way now you actually understand the subject of money. So then you have confidence there. Now you have real, true data versus the data that you're operating off of from the past, which is false. It's that you just keep listening to this because you haven't replaced it with something else. And that's what the belief buster tool is for too. Like if you have an idea that money is bad, well, no, money is a store of value. It's not bad. It's just a store of value. That's it. If you did, an hour of work, then this dollar kind of holds that 1 hour of work. Almost. It's not exactly that way. It's a representation of value. It's not a store of value. It's a representation of value. It's meant to represent, it used to represent a certain amount of gold. And then gold's valuable because it's a resource that could be applied to things. Money can't be applied to things, right? So anyway, Any takeaways from this?
I think the biggest takeaway for me was definitely like just the doingness part. The beingness is definitely something I like as well. A lot of great takeaways from that. But I think the biggest one that I can apply immediately is going to be just like that high octane like mentality throughout the day. Like when I sit down to work, it's like, okay, I'm not just gonna kind of like, dial and like maybe like dial for like 30 minutes, look at my phone and then get back on and be like not like lazy with it right now. Like I feel like right now I'm really good with like my follow up and stuff, but really like trying to do as much as I can in the time that I'm working instead of kind of just doing like, okay, just going through the motions a little bit, like really pushing it as hard as I can. Because like I feel like even
Sweet.
when I'm like trying, I'm putting like 60-70% of what I could be doing. So
Really? You think it's that high?
I mean, I like, yeah, I'd say at best
If
I'm doing
60
like
to 70% is what you're giving right now, you need to increase what you think your best is.
yeah,
I'd wager both of you are at 10%, if you were being honest. You got
Yeah.
way more in the tank. How about you get it out? How about you play the fucking game?
yeah.
We're here to play sales. Nothing else. Let's play the sales game.
That's
What do you guys
my
think?
takeaway. That's
Yeah?
my takeaway.
What do you think, Taylor? You want to play the sales game?
I do. I think there's a lot of humility that has to be done in this line of work. And reading through everything, there's a lot that I know I need to improve on that sticks out immediately. That's like holding myself accountable and making sure that I am showing up to the best of my abilities. I think you're pretty accurate on, I know I can be doing better, which is why when you said, yeah, why does work still play on your mind when you're not doing it? It's because I'm not doing everything I should be doing. I know
Yeah,
that.
it's
And
like that
so,
stuff.
yeah.
I get that all the time too.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think being like a perfectionist, I think I like stall myself from doing work because I want to do it at the best of my abilities rather than like just doing it and getting better. And that's something that I've personally been trying to break through. It's like reps is how I get there. I shouldn't just expect perfection. I just need to do it because I'm sitting
You
there
got it.
thinking about it, not doing. So doingness is huge for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
And if you're doing it to the best of your ability and your ability isn't enough, then you're never going to make it. You
Explain
got to
that a little.
increase your ability.
Yeah.
You said doing it to the best of my ability. Well, ability, like you have an infinite ability to improve, but it
Mhm.
doesn't mean that your ability right now is where it needs to be. You're assuming that doing something to the best of your ability is doing something to the best that it can possibly be done. And it's not. It's nowhere close. And it has nothing to do with your quality calls or anything like that. It's just the attitude. That's why the doingness is so important. If you were doing all those things on the doingness, like if you just make that your daily thing, you read it every day and then you go do it, and then you grade yourself, am I doing that? Then you can see, because that's going to increase your ability. That's going to increase your ability. That's it. You increase your ability by seeing how much more you could do. That's why I made this specific graphic, because what if you could make $439,650 in cash collected this month, and all you had to go do was get 2,916 no's? How often do you get told no?
Yeah, a lot. Not enough though.
How often?
Actually, I usually don't get a no. I just get ghosted or get
You
like
never get no's. Yeah. Imagine how hard you'd have to follow up and how hard you'd have to sell to actually get someone to tell you no. Nowhere near it. So my homework for you guys is this. Go through the program. You're going to get to this section that we just went through, and you can read through it again once you get there. But the thing I would recommend doing is going and buying the book Closer Survival Guide by Grant Cardone, because I was talking to a rep today, last night, and he's like, my issue is I just don't know how to close. In sales training, all the sales training you've ever learned, you learn objection handling, you learn discovery, you learn some belief shifting maybe, but you never learn how to close. So that book has over 100 handlers on closing, things that get them to give you a yes or no. So what do you say? We going to do the deal? Yes or no? Maybe. Okay, cool. What else is in the way? And then you circle back. You ask some questions. You do a handler. We're doing the deal. Yes or no? And you just keep going. And also there's a statistic. I think it's what they got to say no 7 times on average. Someone says no 7 times before they say yes. So if you ever expect to close a deal, how many no's do you need to get, Taylor?
a lot more than what I'm getting.
Yeah, right. So
this is such a random thought, but it just came up because it's come up in a few of my calls where I have been cycling and I've been doing kind of the tactics and tools that I've been given, and then someone will call it out. And they'll be like, I see what you're doing there. And I don't know what to do when they call out the sales approach. Like,
You ignore it.
I pretty much, that's what I've been doing.
It's a comment.
What?
Doesn't mean anything. So there's an origination, there's a comment, but if we apply it just to sales, what they're trying to do is they're trying to throw you off. They're trying to throw something into your universe that throws you off, so you stop trying to close them. The only reason why anybody ever throws something at you is because they're scared, because they know they'll buy. What are they doing? They don't want to not. If they didn't want to buy, they'd hang up. They're still in the call. Like if I'm getting pitched a product and they're like, I'm interested, I'm like, I'm in. So you can't get me to go away, even if I have objections to buying. It's just like Taylor has a goal and she has mental blocks to getting there. It doesn't mean I stop trying to get her to go towards the goal. You're taking their shit as a reason to change what you're doing, or you have an emotional reaction, which is exactly what you're going to handle. You're going to learn a drill, the button pushing drill, for getting rid of that, so you don't have the emotional reaction. Because that's what happens on calls. You get emotional reactions, and then it throws you off, and you don't know what to do, and you think it means something. Great. That's pretty cool that you know what that is. Right now, I'm just trying to ascertain, Mr. Prospect, regardless of anything that I'm using on this call, is this the correct action to take? Is getting started the correct thing to do? Yes. Why? You just go back to the same fucking thing. You don't handle their bullshit. You only handle what closes the deal. Great. He can think whatever he wants about your sales process. Who gives a fuck? Is it getting in the way of the deal? No? Okay, cool. Is he throwing it up to distract you? Totally. Why else would you say something like that? It's what's called an introvertive comment. It's something that makes you introvert, put your attention inwards, makes you think and wonder and worry. So you're letting introvertive comments throw you off, right? Means nothing. Who cares? I really like old-fashioned sales whenever it comes to sale, like closing and objection handling, because it was so simple. Do you like the product? Would you like to have the product by, October? Okay. Would you like to get started now? Yes. What's your card number? Simple, right? Now, we're going to work on other stuff like raising people's states and all that kind of stuff. And we'll probably have to learn some belief shifting and objection handling for stuff and all that kind of stuff. But right now, we're just working on the mindset side of things to where you don't have reactions. You don't let your emotions deter you. Later on, whenever we get into the communication section, that's 2 sections from now. I have to build the data section, and then the next section is the communication section. In the communication section, I won't be able to create a handle. I could create technically a handler for everything. But the thing is, how do you think about it on a call to where, like, no matter what they throw at you, you just, okay, cool. I'm just going to ask some questions and undo the thing that they're trying. Like, imagine like they throw a big building at you, like in anime, like they're super strong and everything. So then it's flying at you and you just kind of peel the building apart and it just kind of flows around you. None of it hits you. How do you do that, right? These people don't do what's in their best interest. They do what is most safe, which is actually going to kill them. So, I don't know. Is that useful?
Definitely.
Cool. I want to use this for my YouTube. Is that okay for you guys?
Go for it.
This one single video, because this was gangster. I really enjoyed this.
So. Oh, this is really, really helpful. Lots of great stuff to start implementing.
Sweet. So, time to do it, man. I'll send you guys a link to sign up real quick, and then we can hop off once you've gotten access.
Perfect.
So, sweet. What do you guys think of the Be Do Have, though?
It's excellent.
Cool.
Really, really, really good. I'm going to be doing exactly what you said, which is reading through it every day, and then doing my best to apply, or not even doing my best, just applying it every single day.
Yeah, there we go. Don't do your best, just do it. Yeah, whatever it takes to hit the target is what you need, not your best, because your best might suck. You're going to just have to increase your best.
Exactly.
Taylor?
I was even thinking that could be like a simple scorecard, end of the day. Just go through a check mark where I felt like I actually performed and held up to the expectation versus where I left, and just showing the little growth points.
Sweet. I want to do an end of day report inside the program again. Jordan's been filling it out sporadically. Jordan, you don't have to fill out the end of day report for right now. If you do, I'll use the data that you put in. You'll be the only one who has the most consistent data.
I've been doing it like loosely on my own. Like I just have a spreadsheet, but
well, that's fine. What I might do is whenever like people go through onboarding, so I can get their stats, I can like retroactively pull your stats from your own tracking if you don't have it. So I'm going to send a link or the links in chat in Riverside, so you guys can grab and let me know once you're logged in, so that way I know you have access. Let's see here. But yeah, I'm trying to make this the coolest fucking thing for sales reps. So if there's anything you guys want to see, or like you feel hasn't been handled yet, I might not, like it might already be handled. You might not be through the program that far enough yet, but any feedback you have as you go through this, good, bad, ugly, I don't care what the feedback is. If you don't like how long a video is, if you think that, like I said, an offensive joke, whatever it is, I don't care. Any feedback you guys have, I need it. So because I'm the outcome of this, the bare minimum outcome is that every 6 months, so for every $12,000 someone pays me, that they make an additional $8,000 per month. So they add an additional $100,000 to their income per year. That's an 8x return on their investment, not including all the mental wins that they'll have. That's the bare minimum I'm trying to produce for people. So number one, does that sound like a good deal to you? First of all,
I am
Absolutely.
logged in. You're good.
Say that again.
I said I'm logged in. We are good. Just wanted to let you know.
Okay, cool. But does that sound like a good deal to you, Taylor? Like, and then if someone, buys another 6 months, then they add another 8K a month. So then in your first year, you would have added a $200,000 to your income, annual income, which is 16 grand a month. Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to achieve. Because then if I can put that in my marketing, for every year you're in my program, you add $200,000 to your income. That's a pretty good deal. Yeah. So,
Well,
or is there something else that resonates with you guys as an outcome for the program? Because you guys are technically some of my most preferred clients. So, because you show up and you're cool and lots of other reasons.
I think that just the personal development aspect is enough return of investment for me. I think I didn't realize how much I was signing up for in terms of that growth. Having the job and having you as a supporter. So I've been really grateful for that, because I have seen the overflow in my life, not just at work, 100%.
Yeah, I was literally going to basically say another version of what Taylor said, because just the mental wins, the personal development, the mental tools are so good for when I first joined in like October last year, I was in a rough spot mentally, and I knew I needed this type of thing. And I got some sprinkles of it, of what's taught in here in my other sales training programs, because they kind of sold in a very belief shifting type of way, but I didn't know how to actually apply it for myself. So I couldn't use the training they were giving me. So it's like this program, the amount of self-development progress I've made in the past 6 months being here is more than years that I was just on my own thinking that my mindset was fine, when it really was the biggest thing holding me back.
That's pretty cool. Any other data?
Well, last time that you and I spoke, John, you were like, you've made a lot of progress, since you even just started with us, but think about the past year. And I went and I wrote down all the wins, personal work, whatever it may be, and I kind of sat with it. And I think it's so easy for me to disregard that and not even think about the mental tallies. I do the opposite. I think about all the tallies that I'm not hitting, and it's
how
just
bad
what
you
you
are.
said. In this side, it's what do you think about? You don't think about losing the deals, you think about winning the deals. So I think about all the improvements.
Fuck yeah. Well, that's good. Also, that's why data is so important, if for no other reason, just on the mindset side of things. If you could see how much your statistics are growing or going down, that would let you know what's probably the appropriate feeling. Yeah. Right? So, yeah, okay, cool. Oh my God, stats are down. We got to go get them up. But then focus is not on what's down. Focus is make it go up, right? So it calms down the mind whenever you can see reality. If you only focus on bad, you're only going to get bad. So don't do that anymore, guys. That's not helpful. So, okay, then I'll keep doing it as I'm pretty sure I'm going to get the same sentiment from a lot of the other guys, because I've asked them at different points. They really like the previous name, Mental Maverick Academy. That's what they said resonated with them more. I don't know if that applies to you guys at all. Does that?
I like both.
Mental Maverick Academy.
I like the Mental Maverick Academy and the Perfect Sales Route. I think they're both pretty concepts for a program like this.
Sweet. How about you, Taylor? What do you think?
I think if you were to give me a point blank option, I would choose the Mental Maverick.
Okay, fuck. Jesus. All right. Well, Cool thing is, the only thing I have to change is the name. I don't have to change anything else. So I will take that into consideration.
I think both are great. If you just ask me a pointed question, A or B, that would be my answer.